Hi guys, so today video I'm gonna take you for a quick tour of my garden for 2025 here. A lot of these plants and vegetables I grow them start at the end of April, the last week of April and the first week of May. And here in Colorado the weather has been rough this year here. Even around that time we were getting like hot and cold and windy, and so the weather was like everywhere. And at night it drops sometime to the 40s or in the 30s. And so for the first several weeks a lot of these plants didn't really take off until like the last week of May or so, when we have more consistent with warm weather. And also I was having a really hard time planting them because of the squirrel. Every time I put in a small plant and they would come in and eat and destroy them, and I had to replant them again over and over, So squirrel is also really bad in this area here too. I had to lay down a couple of traps to catch a few of them and remove them and take them and put them elsewhere in the park, So I hope you enjoy the videos. And a lot of these plants, again, I start them with seeds. I grow a lot of Asian vegetable as well as some of the local vegetable here that I got from the greenhouse. So anyway, enjoy the videos. I'm going to show you what it looks like now. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm going to show you, start off with this, what is in this tub we're here. This is rice paddy herbs, and we use this herb for our cooking, putting in soup. They're very fragrant. And back in Cambodia, these herbs grow in the rice field or along the canal, and they goes really well with soup. And here I grow them in this tub we're here because they like the humidity. I just put some dirt on the bottom there. And then I got these herbs, from the store, the local store here, and I saved the bottom part and just stick the stem into the dirt and then water it, and it just start taking off. And this only been about maybe 3 weeks or so. Rice paddy herb, and here some more of the herb I just planted. Some of these are the Vietnamese coriander, and then over here is the I guess they call these fish mint herbs. I just start these also. And over here, these are lemongrass. I plant in these pots here. I start them in stalks, in the lemongrass stalk, and plant these the first week actually the last week of April. This one here, again, they didn't take off until like toward the end of May. They seem to be doing really well here. And over here is my mint herb. I cut them all out because they're growing like crazy, so just save a few right there, so make room for the new ones to grow. And we've been kind of cutting them and eat them as well. And here is the eggplants. Now this eggplant here, I saved one of them from last year. I took inside the house. These are what they call Thai eggplant or Asian eggplant, And when I brought it out, it was really in bad shape. I didn't know it was gonna live, but I cut everything down and hardly any leaves on it. And now look at this, it's starting to take off and seems like it's already is fruiting, as you can see there. And here is the cilantro and the parsley that came from last year. I planted right here. And it's seeded, and it's and just I didn't have to replant again. It's just from the seed, and it just grow like crazy. It's very wild, like wild here. And over there, I grow some of the Asians gourds over there from seed, and these seem to be slow taking off here. Again, I planted them a few times because of the squirrel come in and just destroy them, and I had to replant over and over again. And people may not wonder what this is. This is sour leaf. See this leaf here? You just take them off and eat it. They're very sour. So we use for our cooking, especially making soup, stuff like that in our cuisine. And it tastes really, really good. Look at this. And they look like spinach, but they're not spinach. So the leaf here, you know, again, tastes very sour. And these here is chives, and they grow like crazy. I had to cut it out numerous of times already. You know, cut them all out, and they keep coming back here. Again, these come back from previous year. Chives are is perennial, so you really don't have to plant it again. Whatever roots you have in there, they come back every spring, and then they keep expanding. And on the other side there, bitter melons. Again, I plant them from seed, so it's take a while for it to grow, but it's starting to take off right now. So hopefully it won't be long. It's starting to crawl on these trellises here and producing some fruit. Here is some of the green mustard. Again, these green mustard, I did not plant them. It's from the seed from the previous year. And they just spread all over my garden. And we've been picking them like crazy. More of the bitter melon over there. Here's green onion. Green onion's also perennial. You do not have to, as long as you save the roots on the bottom there, they'll come back every year. And here on this side, these are long beans. Again, I plant them from seed. They're starting to take off now. And I have some in here is some of the garlic that I planted, and they were growing like crazy already here, the garlic. So I just kind of push it down like that, make room for the other stuff to grow. And here it's starting to pick up now. This is honeydew. So I plan, hopefully it'll crawl and go up here, and where we can have the fruit up there. Again, more of the honeydew here, and a lot of the long beans. See, as you can see here, the long beans are starting to taking off and get on this trellis here. Pretty soon, it'll produce the bean. And here, this is really easy to grow in these growing bag here that I put in. This is just regular potato that I got from the store, and they were old, and I just bury in there, and they're already starting to take off. I mean, they're take off just like crazy. The easiest thing to grow is a potato. And on this side here, these are Japanese sweet potato, as you can see here. Now this here, I start planting at the end of April. Again, I saved a slip from the previous year, and I didn't think they were going to survive for the first 3 weeks that I planted these. They did not take off at all, and they're like turning brown, and because of the cold night, even though I try to cover them at night. But anyway, within the last 3 weeks, all of a sudden they're just exploded with, with this green and flourish and vine here. And we don't harvest this until 3 months from now, around the first week of October or so. And also, I grow this here. These are edible to the stem, the green top, like right there. When they produce a lot, I'm gonna start cutting up some of the tip here and making some stir fry. They're really, really good, and they taste, just like morning glory. And down here is more of the cantaloupe. I just planted underneath my Asian pear tree there. And underneath my peach tree here is also some more of the cantaloupe that I planted there. As you can see, my peach is also doing pretty well. It's fruiting here. We got a lot of fruit, but because of the wind was so strong, a lot of them fall down, which was okay. I guess it's pruning itself there. And over here are more of the sweet potato, the Japanese sweet potato here. And on this side here is my raised bed garden. Here I have some tomatoes and pepper. See, I picked a few of them that are already ripe of tomato. Right there, the big ones. And the pepper, we've been picking some of the pepper, the jalapeno, and right there, this is green collard. I didn't plant this, it's come from last year's seed. And here is the, I think they call callaloo. It's like, it tastes almost like spinach. We use for stir fries and soup. And here's the eggplant. We've been picking a lot of the eggplant already. Right there, as you can see here. So I have a lot of this tree there. Okay, that's on that bed there. Here is my cabbage. The cabbage is doing really well. And I forgot to mention also, we had a really, one day, like a really strong hail here, you know, the size of a golf ball, you know. And when it came, it destroyed all of my cabbage, because they leave all punctures, and so I had to cut them all up, and these are, they just regrow again itself. And a lot of the plant also got damaged too from the hailstorm that we had about 3 weeks ago. This is eggplant that I planted from the seed, and again more the callaloo, and this is the big callaloo, not a small one, big one, so it can grow up to like 6 feet. These grow from the seed from last year. And here is the cucumber. Cucumber, it takes a long time to grow. It seemed like it. I had a hard time growing cucumber here, so it's finally it's starting to green, and hopefully it'll take off and crawl and get on that trellis right there, just like that. Yeah, more of the cucumber plant here, and eggplants, and the cabbage. More of the callaloo plant here. On that bed. And over here, and these are purple lettuce. You know, these I grown from last year. Again, these are spread from the seed. We've been cutting them up like crazy, eating a lot of these lettuce here. They're so good. And I just finally had to thin them out because they were growing on this bed here, full of them. Again, I didn't have to grow them because they were just from the seed that dropped that I grow here from last year. One of the, you know, plant I just saved. And these are green collard. Again, the same way. I did not plant them. They were from seed from previous year. I just leave them just like this. And when they're seeding, they're gonna drop and fall into the garden bed here, and then they'll come back either at the end of the year or next year. These are basil. We've been cutting a lot, and they're producing like crazy here. Those bad. Here is the Thai chili plant. This one here, I saved the plant. This plant is 3 years old now. In the winter, I took it inside the house. And again, you know, inside the house, they don't have enough sunlight and nutrients and stuff like that. And I thought it was gonna die. I mean, I cut them all out with just a couple branches left. And as soon as they come out here and get the right water and exposing to the sun, they're growing and coming back and producing a lot of hot chili right there. Again here, more of the basil. Again, more of the basil down there. I grow a lot of basil. We like basil a lot. This here is a peach tree. I didn't grow it. I just, when we eat some good peach, we just throw the seed, you know, into our garden here, and they just grow itself. So I've been digging them out, a few of them, and plant them around the house. And this here is the, I'm not sure what it's called, but this is a Vietnamese herb that goes really, really well with wraps and salads and stuff like that. And they, again, this is from previous year, you know, from the seed that it drops, and they grow everywhere in my garden. I have to pull them all out where I don't want them to be, and just keep in this section here. Otherwise, they're everywhere. And this here is celery, and this celery here I planted from the stalk of the bottom that we bought, the celery from the store, and we just saved the bottom part and just bury it, and it take off already. Down here underneath my so I just planted this persimmon tree here, and I don't know why, it's just like the end of the leaf is turning brown like that. You know, I search it up, they say maybe I overwater it, so I try to reduce the water and let it just use a dripping system there. It seems like it's getting a little bit better here, but if you guys, you know, have an experience planting persimmon, let me know what caused this here. And underneath there I just put these watermelons here. And in my second turtle here, what I covered this is, you know, I grow, as you can see here, I'm growing some of the holy basil from seed. Holy basil, they're really hard to grow, and it takes forever for it to take off. But the seeding is starting to germinate right now. As you can see here, little tiny plants coming out of them. So maybe another couple more weeks, I will take them out and then spread into the main garden here. And on the top of my retaining wall here, I'm gonna climb up here and show you. I also grow some of the diamonds watermelon here. As you can see there, they're starting to take off right now. And this is a peach tree. Again, this is one of the trees that I removed from the main garden over there. They were growing from the seed when we ate them and we throw them in our garden. So look at it, it's taking off already. It's only been about 3 months, 4 months. Doing really good. And underneath, again, this is the diamond watermelon. And underneath this tree here, now this is a pawpaw tree, you guys. I grew this pawpaw tree here a couple years ago, and I didn't think it was gonna live. Look at this, it's starting to take off this year here. And underneath here, I grow again some more of the watermelon. So hopefully they just kind of crawling on this retaining wall here that we have in our house. And then on this here, again, another of the pawpaw tree that I grow. And underneath it, I grow some of the pumpkin, Asian pumpkins, 2 different kinds of pumpkin on there. And it's starting to take off right now. So pretty soon, it's gonna fruit here. And on this side of the house, here I grow some of the grapes here. And look at, they're fruiting right now. Right there. They just crawl along my fence here. And here I have some of the plants in the pot here. Here is a zucchini plant here. It's been producing a lot of zucchini, but they're not very big. And I think because of the lack of the pollinations, as you can see there, and I also have some ants on there. I keep spraying it, but they keep coming back. And I don't know if that kind of cause of the zucchini to get bigger. You know, we've been picking them a lot, but they're not very big zucchini. And on the top here, on this pot here, is the sweet potato that I grow here. And in these 2 pots here, this is a Meyer lemon tree. I grow this for a couple years now, and they're just not taking off. They're just still kind of scrunchy, and I pruned again. This year here I cut a bunch of branches out and add some more citrus soil there. So hopefully this year it will take off. And on the second pot here, this is a lime tree. Again, it's the same way. They're just kind of staying there and not taking off. And in the winter time, I brought these and kept them inside the house and exposing to the light, growing light there, and they're doing okay. And this pot here, more of the sweet potato. Down here is more of the zucchini plant. And over here Here is the Luffa plant. There you go. Starting to take it off. The plant is from seed here. It takes a while to get it this big, but I think it's gonna survive. Again, a couple times I had to chase the squirrel away from it. Down there is the pumpkin plant. Again, more of the pumpkin plant there. Between this one and underneath this tree here. These are Asian pumpkins, you guys. And over there, again, most of the stuff I grow on this side, the squirrel come in and just demolish it. See, as you can see, a sweet potato here. These are supposed to grow like crazy, but because of the squirrel, they're not taking off. They just come in and eat everything out of there. More of the pumpkin there, and the cantaloupe down there underneath this peach tree here. Well, let's complete the tour, you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to show you the view from the retaining wall here of the garden, as you can see there. Thank you for watching, and if you like the content, please press like and subscribe. I appreciate your support and watching the video. Thank you.